Hi guys, so this is a video about the mods I like using and why. So we're going to start off with the bed cuddle mod, which I found recently, and this mod allows you to basically have your Sims that are in a relationship cuddle when they're in bed. So it's a really cute mod. So what I'll do is include a bit of information about it now on the screen so you can see it. And then at the end of the video, there'll be a bit of gameplay with all the mods that I use. So that's the first one, and I do like this one just because it allows you to do what natural couples do in bed, which is cuddle and like snuggle up and stuff like that. So it is a really cute mod if you like to have realistic things in bed when they're asleep, so they're not just like sleeping side by side. Like the next and that mod, the Pancake one and Mozo Yuki, and it's available on their Patreon. So just type in bed cuddles on Google and your bed cuddle mod on Google, and it will come up. And I will link all of them down below as well. The next one I'm going to talk about is the educational system bundle is by Choir Stacy, and basically it gives you a preschool mod, better school mod, smarter homework mod, and an online schooling mod. And it also gives you a PC that is just strictly for schoolwork, so they can, if you age them up, say too late in the day and they can't go to school the next day, they can attend an online session, and that means that they don't lose out on a day of school. If you are looking to like in the 100 baby challenge that I'm also doing on my channel, that will allow you to just keep in that education so you can get it done a little bit quicker. It allows you as well to have things like listen to the teacher, take notes and stuff like that as well. So they're doing actually more in school apart from study hard. The homework has, I'm pretty certain it's this one, or it's either this one or educational overhauls. It allows you to either do homework or a load of different options for their homework as well. So you have like maths ones, social studies and things like that. So this is a really good mod for kids and teenagers that you're putting through education, because it allows you to do a lot more to help them towards that A grade then. But it does have like the other side of it where they can just be disruptive and distractive in class as well. So whatever way you want your kid to be in Sims, this can help you do that a lot better. And that's the educational system bundle. And educational overhaul is a deep indigo, and this basically gives you a mixture of the educational career, preschool, secondary school. I'm just reading it here. The original started out as a request to make a small addition for more school projects for children using game objectives. It turns into something more. I've done an overhaul of the educational career, preschool, elementary, secondary school, and Sims in general. Your young adults and up, they can branch into the educational career K-12 teachers with new assignment tasks, new career goals, rework educational tracks, support for degrees, university career entitlement, including custom degrees. Toddlers have the option to go to preschool on Monday to Friday for 7 hours. That's the one that I use quite a lot. And I can never remember which mod it is part of, so it's part of educational overall. So if you want to, instead of just sending them off to daycare, you can send them off to preschool and enroll them in the preschool, which means they go Monday to Friday all day. So your Sim doesn't have to actually be out the house doing something for that toddler to go to daycare. And basically while they're at school, at preschool, they're learning imagination, potty, communication, movement. There's another one. And thinking. They're all learning those while they're at preschool as well, which really helps you. And then you also have, like it says here, children and teens are the focus of this mod. There are a ton of options for school interactions, field trips, return of detentions, military school, variable school projects, different types of homework assignments, new options and more. So basically she's took the original schooling and made it a little bit better. But if you put that one and the Better School mod together, it does make a perfect I find makes a perfect education on Sims. My next one I'm going to talk about is one that I found really recently, and this is going to help out with my 100 baby challenge. Because as you know, in the 100 baby challenge, if you move out all your teenagers because they become young adults, you got no one to help with like the babies or the toddlers. And if you've got like the second round, like I'm going into at the moment, I've got 2 kids and I think it's 1 or 2 babies. So I found this mod that helps children look after the babies. So like, it's called Dr. Chillgood's Orphan Children's Aren't Deleted, and children can care for babies. So basically it gives the children options to be able to pay the bills, look after babies, and I think there's another bit, but I don't really use it for that. I only use especially on the 100 baby challenge, I only use the kids can take care of babies, just so it helps like Noelle out a bit, because otherwise she can never sleep, never eat, or never take any personal hygiene. So that is a good mod if you're looking to have your children help out with future generations. Lumia Height Slider mod. So this is a good mod if you want to actually make different heights in Sims. Because in Sims you have one generic height. From when they're a teenager to when they become elderly, they're the exact same height. Where with Height Slider, what you can do is make them a bit smaller for a teenager, and then when they become a young adult, put them at a certain height. When they become an adult, you can keep it at that height. And then some elderly people shrink when they get older, so then you can reduce the height as well. There is a mod that already does it for teens, to make them pre-teens, which is about 11, 13, and teenagers. But what I find with the pre-teen mod is sometimes it glitches with other mods that I've got. So I filmed part of this video yesterday, but the last part has disappeared, so I'm going to refilm the end of this video today. Where it cut off was on the Slim Height Slider mod by Lumiere. So basically I was saying that there is a pre-teen mod that will make your teenagers shrink. And I do like that mod. It's just, it doesn't work in my game. It's some reason it just bugs out. But I will like look for updates and see if I can re-put it back in at any point and see if it has been fixed. But at the moment it hasn't. But the Height Slider mod is a really good mod to use. The next mod I'm going to be talking about is MC Commander. So that will allow you to use all the cheats that are available in game just a lot easier. Basically I'll put it beside me now so you can see what it does and what it works with. But basically it allows you to start a pregnancy. You can change your outfits, you can change career outfits, you can go easily into CAS, there's lots of things you can do with MC Commander, and I do show you that at the end in the video. So there's not really much to say, it just helps with a few cheats on the game. So you can basically get into things and like change your Sims outfits easier, or go into CAS and change their outfits, or change anything about them. It just makes it, a few things on Sims a little bit more easier, and most people that have Sims on the PC do have this MC Commander Center mod. Yeah, it's just really good mod. Like, there's not a lot I can really say about it. This is the next one I'm going to be talking about is Luminor. I can't say it, sorry, but you'll see it to the side of me anyway. And it's called the Relationship and Pregnancy Overhaul mod. So this pregnancy preference and various actions for both partners, woohoo risk protections, housing facility. You can have woohoo transmitted diseases. You can have paternity tests. You can have. It just gives you a lot more with relationships and stuff. You can make up, break up. You can do custody assignments on it, which I didn't realise until I was getting ready to film this video. You can have pregnancy problems where one partner doesn't want the child and another does, and you have to like try and convince them in a way. And in the pregnancy part of that mod, you also have different options like going to find out the gender. You can go buy stuff for the baby. You can go to early parenting classes and all this as well. It just makes pregnancy and relationships a lot more in the game instead of just the basic relationship Sims have created. So that is a good mod to have. The only downside to it is because they have a fertility part in it. When I have that mod on, I do find it's very hard for my Sims to get pregnant. So I always sometimes have to take that mod out, especially on the 100 baby challenge, because it can cause issues with. It just makes it more realistic with pregnancy, so it doesn't make it harder. It just makes it more realistic. But when you're trying to do a challenge like the 100 baby challenge, that mod makes it a little bit harder. So I sometimes do take that mod out whilst I'm doing the 100 baby challenge. But that Lumia relationship and pregnancy overhaul, which is really, really good. I do like the mod. The next mod I'm going to talk about is more columns in CAS. So as you know, on basic game of CAS, in base game, you've only got 2 columns. Where Bezel, I want to say, has created a mod that allows you to have multiple columns, so you can pick how many columns you want. I have 4 in my game, and it allows you to have more. You can see more of your items in CAS without having to scroll down so much. So that's why I do like having more columns, and that is a great mod to have. And this is there's one that I found that didn't work, and this is the one that I have found that does work at the moment, and I haven't had any issues with it. He also does a mod called UI cheat extension, which basically means you can cheat your money, needs, and other things like that by left clicking or right clicking on your mouse. And basically it allows you to use the cheats in the game easier than having to type it in. That's the basic description, and that's why I like it, especially if I'm doing just playing personally and I want to try and do something with my sim and they're really, really tired. I can just make their energy a bit higher just to get that something done, and then they can like go on with their day. But it is a really good mod to have in your game because it makes it easier to change the money amount as well. So if you're doing like a rags to riches challenge, you can literally reduce your Sims money down to nothing with a click of a button, and it does make it a lot easier. And yeah, I just like UCI cheat extensions, it's really good. The next one I am going to talk about is Simda. Simda is a dating app for Sims. So basically it's a play on Tinder. So they can go on blind dates, Pacific dates, female dates, male dates, hookups, one night stands. They can do a range of different things. There's also a chat room where they can talk with Pacific Sims to get to know them. But this mod just makes it easier if you're looking to find a mate for your sim without having to go travelling everywhere to see where your sim gets on with someone or if they have a relationship with somebody. Just makes it a little bit easier because you can do it from their phone or on their computer, and they can start building up a friendship and romance. Or if you're doing the 100 baby challenge like me, you can invite someone over and just do a hookup or one night stand, and it's all done through the app, which is really, really interesting. And I'm glad I found that app actually because it has helped with a few dates on my game. The next one I'm going to talk about is Acquire Stacy mod, and it's called the Slice of Life mod, which allows you to have memories in game. It allows you to have, they have a phone in game where they can watch streams and Netflix and things like that, but it's not called that on the Slice of Life mod. It is called something else, but I can't remember. It allows them to use the social life, appearance, cycle, beauty, which means they can get spots and have really bad skin, which can make them embarrassed. So it's not like, it's good, but it can make them really, really embarrassed. They can also sell woohoo. They also have a health section in there, which means that you can basically get a medicine, send them to the hospital, or get vaccinated, and then basically your sim can either get better, go and get treated at the hospital to get better, or get a vaccination, and then it protects them from getting ill. Basically, this mod is really, really good. Like, I love having this mod in my game. It's never been taken out of my game since I've got it. But the only one I don't have in there is Self Woohoo. That's just my personal preference, but I just don't have that in my game. But it is a really good mod, and I would recommend downloading it. The next one is Wonderful Whims. Do not get it confused with Wicked Whims. Wonderful Whims is PG, Wicked Whims over 18. So if you see on YouTube, you won't see very often, that I know of anyway, from the creators that I watch, not many people will use Wicked Whims. They will use Wonderful Whims because it is safer for streamers. On Wicked Whims, you have nudity and things like that. On Wonderful Whims, it's the same thing, but a lot more like appropriate for streamers. So you do have the main part that I'm assuming most of us use it for, which is the attractiveness part of the mod and impressions. Basically, attractiveness and impressions will allow you to, one, find out who your sim finds attractive, and impressions on like what their first impressions of that person was, which is really, really good because if you're in a room, they can scope the room and you can find out who your sim is automatically attracted to. And then if they're attracted to them, it's a lot easier for them to build a romance. If they just think they're basic looking or very unattractive, they are going to find it harder to build up a romance with them. So you have basic looking, unattractive, very attractive, and extremely attractive. So you have different options that your sim can think of different sims. And sometimes it does mess up with females and male sims. So if you want your sim to be like lesbian or bisexual or whatever, or gay, like two males, like whatever like relationship you want them to have, sometimes it can mess up if it's not the standard male female. But you can just go into the there's a section where you can put what they perceive as attractive. So if you want them to be in a same-sex relationship, then you can have them in a same-sex relationship. You just say that they prefer girls over men, and there is that option in the game. So that's Wonderful Whims, and it is a really good. And it also does have the birth control. It has the risk. I think it does include something like risky woohoos as well. It does have the menstrual cycle as well, which allows you to buy like the tampons and the pads for the female sims who are on the periods, which is really, really cool, to be fair. So those are all the mods I'm currently using in game. There is going to be a episode coming out at the near the end of the month, which is new mods that I'm trying. And that will include the new toddler traits that I showed on my live the other day. And that will include, I think, 3 or 4 new mods that I found on like Pinterest or watching other streamers that I want to include into my game to find out if I like them or not. But the next part of the video is going to be the gameplay of some of these mods. So enjoy watching that. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the gameplay of some of these mods being used in game. And what I will do is leave it here for today, and I will see you tomorrow with a CC favourites and then some live streams throughout the rest of the week. So I hope you're enjoying this upload of a video a day in July, and thank you so much for supporting my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!